Hey everybody, it's Solo once again. Today, talking about meditation and how to really get into it. One thing I've heard over and over again from people who want to start meditating is that it's difficult for them because their minds are always scrambling. So I'd like to help you guys just get started. So here we go. The first thing to remember when it comes to meditating is that it's important for you to be in a very quiet place where you won't be disturbed or distracted. So for me, when I meditate, I always put on my earphones because that just helps me focus a lot better. And what I'll do is I'll listen to either, some nature sounds of rain or waterfall or some, Tibetan bells or something like that. But that just helps you with your focus, okay? But before that, first and foremost is it's important for you to get into a very comfortable position. So here I am sitting in a half lotus position. Not everybody can get into that. The most important thing is for your back to be straight when you're meditating. So any seated position, even if you're sitting on a chair or even if you're lying on your back, that's okay as long as your back is straight. And the first thing you do is take deep breaths when you meditate. Taking deep breaths just kind of helps you center yourself, and it helps you focus on yourself and your body. So that's the first thing you need to do when you want to meditate, is to take deep breaths. Maybe take 5 deep breaths. Okay, and then you close your eyes, you focus on your third eye. So that's now in between your eyebrows, so in the middle of your eyebrows. You focus on that. That is called your third eye chakra. And you also, you make sure that your mouth is closed and you breathe with your nose. You don't have to take deep breaths, you can just take normal breaths. But I think one of the ways to help yourself to focus when your mind starts to wander is to focus on your breath. Okay, so count your breath. Maybe count your breath up to 10 and then start all over. So every time you breathe in and out, count up to 10 and then you start again. So that's one way of helping you from wandering, or helping your mind from wandering. One thing to also always remember about meditating is that your mind will always wander. Your mind will always wander. It doesn't matter whether you are a master meditator, or you're just a beginner. The mind always wanders. The thing is, when it does wander, it is your task to be aware that it is wandering and to bring it back. Alright, so your mind wandering is not really a bad thing. Being able to recognize that it is wandering and bring it back is what we want to achieve through meditation. Okay, so a lot of people think when you meditate, you're just gonna sit still and your mind is gonna be still, and you're just gonna be quiet the whole time. But it doesn't work like that. So your mind will always wander. Your job is to recognize that it is wandering and to bring it back and focus on your breathing, or focus on a certain area of your body, like your heart, like your stomach, or your throat, depending on which chakra maybe you'd like to focus on in that moment. One thing I remember being told when I went to a meditation retreat by a Buddhist monk, somebody asked the monk, how long did it take you to master meditation? And the monk said, you never really master it, you're always working on it. So you don't get to a place where you are going to have a smooth meditation with no thoughts, with no distraction. No, that doesn't happen. You just get better and better at being aware of the distractions, or being aware of the noise and your mind wandering, and then just coming back. You get better at doing that. So that's what a lot of people don't know about meditation. So it just takes practice. Another thing that I always tell people when it comes to meditating is that it's better when you start off with maybe 5 minutes a day. So maybe you start off with taking 5 minutes out of your day to meditate. Do that for 3 days, and then move to 8 minutes, okay, and then move to 10 minutes, and then move to 15 minutes, and then move to 20 minutes. So pacing yourself also helps you achieve a certain level of the peace and clarity that you want from meditation. Because a lot of people try to meditate, and when they feel like their mind is still wandering, they give up on it because they feel like, I can't do this. But if you try to do it for maybe 5 minutes, and you get better at meditating for 5 minutes, then you can move up to 10 minutes and then 15 minutes. So your goals in what you want to achieve in your meditation are a little bit more realistic. And I think also something that I have learned about meditation is that you have glimpses, of peace and clarity and contentment in your meditation. It's not going to feel like that the entire time. So the more you meditate is, the bigger those moments become. Sometimes that moment lasts 4 or 5 seconds. And that's a great achievement. You feel great, and then you lose it and you feel like, oh no, I'm back to square one. But that's not necessarily it. So meditation just gives you glimpses of the peace, the clarity, the contentment that you want. And the more you meditate is, the bigger those moments become. And what I've also felt from my meditation is certain things coming to the surface. There's certain times when I meditate and I'll feel sad, or there's certain times when I meditate and I'll feel really happy. When that happens, it's just certain things coming up, maybe things that you had suppressed and you hadn't dealt with, just coming to the surface. So it's important to let those things come out. So when you feel like crying when you're meditating, you should cry. When you feel like laughing when you meditate, you should laugh. So yeah, meditating really, really opens you up, and it's not a quick fix. It's not a quick kind of process. It's not something that's gonna give you results immediately. But when you start having those glimpses that I was talking about of that peace and that clarity, is the more you're going to want to meditate and the more you're going to get better at it, because you want those moments. You want to feel that peace and that contentment that you get when you are meditating. So yeah, I think that's what I'd like to share with you guys with your meditation. And when you're starting out, I always recommend that you get an app that's going to help you track your progress somehow. When I started out, I was using a Buddhist meditating app. I can't remember what it was called, but it helped me get better at meditating, because it would start me off with 3 minutes, and then 5 minutes, and then 8 minutes, and 10 minutes, and so on. And it really helped me set aside the time to meditate every single day. So using an app is a great way to track your progress. I would recommend that. The app that I'm using at the moment is called Insight Timer. So you can also try and download that. But if you have any more questions for me, guys, about meditating, please feel free to ask. This was just some tips that I wanted to share for anyone who wants to start out, and maybe someone who has tried meditating but has felt discouraged because they feel they can't do it. Anybody can do it. You just have to keep trying and you will get better at it. In future, I'd like to do more guided meditation videos, so that's something I will think about and let you guys know about when I do it. But that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was very helpful. Namaste, everybody.